this show, Harold starts his own news network, Bill goes downhill skiing, and I'm going to show you how to make a super-duper tool-orama.
Here's a man who has all the friends and he knows how to use them. He's so diplomatic, his favorite color's plaid. Here's my uncle, Mr. Ed Green.
Thank you, Harold, for that intro. Those were compliments, were they?
You got that one right, big fella. Boom.
Well, he means well. Wouldn't it be great if he did well? Or was well? Anyway, we've had a real catastrophe up here at the lodge with one of the rocks.
It's a rock, Uncle Red. What can go wrong with a rock? It's a rock.
Well, actually, it wasn't so much the rock. It was what happened to the backhoe after the rock was moved.
Oh, it rolled into the van?
No.
Rolled into a tree?
No. Harold, think about a large body of lukewarm fluid.
Rolled into Moose Thompson.
Possum Lake, Harold.
Oh, that.
Rolled into Possum Lake.
Yeah, I should have. That's all right.
Boy, you make a lot of mistakes.
Yes, I do. But I don't blame him on rocks.
This was my granddaddy's farm 100 years ago. He won it in a card game. Everyone else had the sense to fold. The ground is as hard as really, really hard material. The water tastes like eggs. But luckily, the government stepped in and paid him not to grow stuff, which was more or less his specialty. This week on Handyman Corner, we're going to show you how to build something that'll help you build everything you ever build. Because the one biggest danger that faces every handyman is not hitting your thumb with a hammer or cutting off your finger at the knuckle or even catching your nose hairs in the lathe. It's losing your tools. It just seems that, you put a tool down, say a pair of pliers, or a hammer, and 2 or 3 seconds later you go and look for it, and you can't find it, and you end up rooting through everything. And after a couple hours, you find it out in the trunk of your car, and you have no idea how it got there. This is because when you're not watching tools, they'll get up and they'll walk away on you, just like kids. So anyway, I'll tell you what happened last week. Bill did some bungee jumping off the roof of the lodge, and I got an idea. Actually, it gave me 2 ideas. The first one being, don't ever bungee jump by tying a bunch of old jock straps together, especially when somebody's going by in a lawn tractor. And secondly, I got the idea, why don't we make a bungee belt to hold all our tools? Okay, well, the first thing you gotta do is gather up all your tools. These are a few that I found around the bench and on the floor, in my pockets, and up the chimney. Okay, now you're gonna need a big wide belt, like the kind the lumberjacks use, or the telephone repairmen, or actually maybe you have one of these yourself if you went to the discos, say 73, Saturday Night Fever kind of a thing. I use this one to hold the muffler onto the possum van. Okay, now you need some stretchy cords. Anything will do, really. These are real good. This is a phone cable. Hard to come by, though, because they've switched to that metal flexible stuff in the payphones. And then, of course, you got your bungee cords. You got some lamp cord in here. There's the rubber hose from the lodge sick room. And we got a slinky, an old slingshot. Step 1, attach all this stuff to your belt. And there you have it. I've turned myself into a more efficient handyman, or a hula dancer. Now all I gotta do is attach the tools to the end. Now I'm gonna go back to my little check. And I want to get the kilowatt. Okay, now let's say I have to install a jacuzzi or unclog a drain, and all I need is my pipe wrench. So just grab my pipe wrench. All right, I need to organize this a little bit. What I need is to mark each chord so I know what's on it. So I'll get my pencil. There's the pipe wrench. Okay, well, the whole thing needs to be organized. Hang on a minute. Okay, now I got everything labeled in alphabetical order from ABS cement right around to zinc sulfate. So I want to find my pipe wrench. Here we are. Level, mallet, nails, oilstone, paintbrush, paint scraper, pipe. Here we go. Pipe cutter, pliers. Oh, no, I live under wrench. W, wrench, yeah. Oh, here we are. Wrench adjustable, wrench monkey, wrench pipe. Here we are. You want to make sure those are really snug down there, and maybe to do that, you could use the handyman secret weapon, duct tape. So, let's see. Calipers, cleaver, dados, drill bit, duct tape. Yeah, there we go. So we got this, and I got another idea. My screwdrivers and the smaller tools don't fit on the belt real well. I need a couple of belts over the shoulders, and I'll attach that with this stuff, and this is going to take a little bit of time. So why don't we get on with the show, and I'll get her all built, and we'll come right back.
And now it's that part of the show where we expose the 3 little words that men find so difficult to say. I don't know. And here to prove that point is my Uncle Red, and of course his best friend, Mr. Hap Shaughnessy. Here's today's letter. Dear experts, last fall, my brother went deer hunting and gave me some venison steaks, but I forgot to refrigerate them. This spring, after the snow thawed, I noticed the meat was still sitting on the back porch rail where I left it last November. Do you think the meat is still safe to eat? I don't think we need an expert to answer this one.
Oh, that's right, Harold. The meat will be just fine. Isn't that right, Hap?
Yeah, one winter's nothing. I remember when I led a group of diggers from the University of Tel Aviv on an expedition to Greenland, and we came across this dinosaur that was frozen and buried in the glacial tundra, and I thawed it out, and the meat was delicious.
So you ate Brontosaurus, Hap?
No, not Bronto. No, this was Strato. Stratocumulosaurus. It had fallen into an ice crevice, and it was perfectly preserved. All except the tip of the tail. That was a bit rancid.
Well, he's the expert on rancid tails. So tell everybody, how did the dinosaur taste?
Dinosaur's a bit gamier than anaconda, but not quite as fatty as, say, a killer whale. There's a lot more meat on the Stratocumulosaurus. Yeah, it was a big fella.
Right up to the clouds, I bet, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was going to bring back all the extra flesh and maybe try to market my own brand of dinosaur meat, you know, and I registered my own trademark, brand name.
Hap's Dino Dogs?
No, Jurassic Pork.
It is winter. The animals are warmly tucked away in their dens with a case of 2-4 and the remote controller. Okay, there we go. I can go anywhere and fix anything at any time. I need a curved rasp plane? Got it. Compass saw? Got it. Screwmate drill bit? What do you think? Now, what else could I use? Well, it's always nice to have a little extra light on a job. Or, say, a third hand would come in handy. And a lot of the guys at the lodge say that I could use a little head protection. Well, why not combine all 3? That's handyman thinking. Okay, so there it is. I can now go anywhere at any time and fix anything. Although I wouldn't advise going out into the woods when the moose are in heat. And I have added another safety element here with a little yogurt tub full of baking soda. So if I'm soldering or welding or what have you, and suddenly the whole workbench and most of the furniture's on fire, I can just lean forward quickly. And hopefully the fire goes out fast because I actually have my face right into the flames at that point. So it's really, it's a wearable workshop, kind of a neat-looking unit. It's a fashion statement, really, that says, hey, world, I'm a tool. So until next time, remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. I think I'll just go and change the oil in the furnace. Don't worry, I can fix that. Dougie.
Yo!
Getting up in the world, are ya?
Well, actually, not as up as I may appear to be, Red, I'll tell you. If you ever in your life get a chance to drive over a taxi, I would suggest you remove that little sign from the roof first.
Caused you some damage, did it?
Well, sir, I tell you, those suckers are made out of kryptonite or something. That ripped right through my oil pan like a bumper through a bus shelter.
Wow. Dougie, do you think this monster truck here could pull my backhoe out of Possum Lake?
Well, now that I scavenged me a new oil pan, it won't. Besides, you know, if I were you, I'd recommend that you just leave that backhoe down there if I were you.
Well, that'd be a little hard on the lake, wouldn't it? Make the water taste like backfill.
Au contraire, mon frere. Actually, it's quite good for the lake. Well, here we go. Yeah, apparently, them little fish, they need a place to grow in, you know, a place to grow up. They call them fingerlings, I think. And, you know, without that place to grow, them little suckers, whew, if they didn't have a place to hide, they'd stand about as much chance as a Honda Civic and one of them monster truck Crossoramas.
So what you're saying is the backhoe sort of acts like a daycare center for the little fishies.
Oh, well, that's it, exactly. I mean, oh, jeez, you gotta watch your head, this baby. I'll tell you, I had a friend of mine, he rolled a semi right over the Third Line Bridge into Mercury Creek.
Well, you know, I would have thought that bridge was too narrow for a big truck.
Well, it is, but that's why he was up on two wheels, and he would have made it right across there, too, if this gust of wind hadn't come along and just dumped him right over there like a turtle on his back. But you know what? He left that sucker there, gets a check from the government, said he created an artificial reef for fingerling conservation. If you had half a brain, you could cash in on that yourself, Red.
Golly, the government is paying you to throw wrecks into the lake. You're sitting on a gold mine here, Doug.
Red, I'm not in this for the money. All this stuff you're looking at here, this is my joie de vivre. This is my hobby. This is for my friends. This ain't some get-rich-quick scheme, Red. You're looking at my life here.
Never seen anybody's life rust out quite this bad, Doug.
Beautiful, ain't it? You gotta love it.
You can imagine the excitement around here when the word got out that the government was paying people to throw crap in the lake. I'll tell you, it pretty well emptied the parking lot of the Yugo dealership.
Uncle Red, you know, I don't think it's going to work unless you alter the pH.
What's that, Harold? You sound like a shampoo commercial.
No, you have to alter the pH, you know. You can't catch fish if the pH is too low, so you have to raise the pH, make it more alkaline.
What, are you going to throw batteries in there? That's going to cost a lot of money, Harold.
No, limestone. You have to dissolve limestone into the lake.
Limestone? Limestone won't work. Limestone will kill all the fish.
No, it helps. It's limestone, really. That's what you need, limestone.
Well, all right, let's do a little test, Harold. I'll get a little piece of limestone. I'll put it in your eye. And you tell me if it helps or hurts.